Here is a real quick photo op, so to speak, of my brand new clubs. Uh, these I just got. They weigh 40 pounds. The little clubs you see at the bottom right hand corner, they weigh 20 pounds. They're made by Arbor Root. They're made out of hickory. The second pair is dark brown. They weigh 32 pounds. And I haven't seen anybody be able to swing them, at any rate. And then the next pair is a bit larger. They're 45 inches tall, and they weigh, this is a preview because I haven't even had a chance to stain them yet. They're not even out of the plastic yet. They weigh over 40 pounds each. And I don't think I have to weigh them to prove that. I'm going to show you real quick a couple of exercises I do to supplement the regular club swinging. Now granted, with the clubs, when you start getting into heavy clubs, it can really take your shoulder out of whack. Light clubs, 10 pound, 12 pound, it's not a big deal. I use bands. I'll make this really fast. It's not going to go, sorry about the neighbor next door making the noise with the violin, but at any rate, what I do is I step on this and I use the weight this way and swing it back and forth. Plus I use the weight this way for my tricep. The second thing I do to increase, because the movement of the club goes behind and then across the back, so what I do is I use the band on the opposite leg. You'll understand this the minute I do it. I then go ahead and pick up this, set it onto this side, so you can see the movement. It's like swinging the club all the way over to this side. So I go back and forth this way, get to here, and then pull the weight. That's one exercise. The second thing I do, put it here, just like picking the two clubs up. If you're picking two separate clubs up in the air, I put it like this, and now you have to understand, this is a light band. I have different bands, and I increase the bands as we increase the weight, so to speak. So I do this. And then of course, lastly, you can step on the band and you can work the over the shoulder movement or the across the body movement this way. And if you do those three things, the behind the back, in the front, and over the shoulder, those are basically the three movements you're going to use when you're swinging the clubs. Now, you can do this with just the clubs, but if you take a weak spot, if you know where you're weak in the range of movement, and work on that for about a week or so, you can overcome elbow soreness, shoulder soreness. Now, I also use the band for stretching. And what I do with the stretch is, again, I step on the band, I push the weight up, but I just allow it to just pull. It's just pulling my elbow into that position. That's why when you see me on the tapes, you always say, oh, you seem so loose in the shoulder. It's because I do a lot of exercise to loosen the shoulder. And you can switch to the opposite arm, and again, you want to try to get that elbow pointing to the sky. If you loosen up this whole chain of movement on, as you call, multiplanular, many planes, you can go ahead and stretch this using my stretch, all the movement to stretch, and that will help you. Now, another movement I do for the shoulder, take the bands like this, and I move the band behind my body. Now I do this with a stick also, with a large rod also, but there is no resistance here. When you use the band, it actually will pull your arms even more. So just enough, I do it long enough to where I feel the relaxation response, where my body isn't fighting against the movement. It gives in, it releases, the relaxation response is what I get. And then you can do this movement, like this, which I'm sure you're already familiar with, like this for the shoulders, and then lastly, this for the shoulders. So those are just a couple of extra stretches. I know you're familiar with the stretches like this, and this, and this, and on and on and on, but those extra movements may help you a bit. Hope that's helpful. can